Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, now on Kindle, link in the description box, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hey, my Sagitt crabby asses. I hope you're all doing well. It's a contract reading time. If you are new to my channel, there is a preface to this series, the Timeless Romantic Soulmate Reads. I don't do twin flame reads on YouTube anymore because they're nuts. And if you watch some of the links in the description box defining twin flame and soulmate, a bunch by me, but really the source material I learned it from is from Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher, author, intuitive, empath, healer, all that jazz. He's really cool. Haven't met him. He don't know me. Well, I think he might know who I am at this point. I've been promoting his stuff without pay. It's not a paid promotion, just because his stuff really works for me. It is his video, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames, and Soulmates Redefined. That was a head turner for me in 2018, and I think you'll like it much better than what we've been dealing with for centuries. So that being said, like a contract, there's party number one, party number two, and then the state of the contract, what I have come to call a three-lane highway read. So you're going to have to figure out which side you are on in the contract, and I'm going to get you 25 cards to get you the larger picture of just this chapter in the book of this soulmate contract, whether you know each other or not. It is a romantic soulmate, so it's not family, so that's the one everybody really wants to know about, so those are the ones the divine told me to do. So that's why I did this series. Otherwise, it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Certainly do check your other signs just to get more information perhaps about one particular, if you only have one romantic dealio going on, to get a different vibe on that, because your sun's going to process information differently than your moon, your rising, or your Venus. Or maybe if you've got more than one iron in the fire like I do, romantically speaking, then you never know who's going to pop up. So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can for this contract read. I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer. I do know how to read contracts. If there's something I don't understand, I make a phone call to someone who does. That's a witch for you, right? If we don't know, we will find out. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, there is a video in the description box called Booking a Reading with Mal. I made it just because people are like, how do I book a reading with you? I'm like, here, watch this. And I watched it the other day. I did it, I think, back in June. And it still cracks me up, so I think you'd enjoy it. So for your information and entertainment, go check it out. Otherwise, all the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. If you want to check that out, there's stuff there. Vimeo on demand. My Path of True Love class is on Vimeo. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, as well as my book, Words of Grace. So enough promotion. Let's get down to business. Please take a nice deep breath. It's been a very, very busy morning. I've been taking it nice and slow. Mercury just went retrograde today at the time of this recording, so better to just slow down and go with the flow and see how much gets done, enjoying the ride. As I call upon, here we go, my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of romantic soulmate contract law, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the beloved Kuan Yin, beloved Archangel Michael, and the pantheons of lovers of all cultures and lineages. Please, I need 3 cards, Caroline Mace archetype cards, to show us the 8th chakra dynamic, the soul power being alchemized from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy, that as each individual here heals that within themselves, they are helping each other heal through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract. So we're going to get 1 for party 1, 1 for party 2, and 1 for state of the contract. So party number 1, please. What's their 8th chakra dominant archetype in this contract? How about party number 2. That's why you got to figure out which one you are, but you may relate to both. Oftentimes in soulmate contracts, there is shared archetypal patterns, which means you can heal both, all of it, you know, within yourself. You can even see it as your divine masculine, divine feminine energy, which is what is usually mirrored in a romantic thing, although in every relationship. So please, my collective pantheons, what chapter are they in? What scene of the movie are they in? This is in the title, so let's see how brave you are. Well, I have to say, the child archetype has been popping up a lot. Let's see, who else got it? Taurus got the divine child. I know I saw it. Gemini got the orphan child. I know there's another one in here. Leo got the wounded child. And Scorpio got the nature child. I mean, really, this is now 5 out of 9 readings. That's a predominant thing. So let's talk about this. Party number 1, the magical child. Everybody has a child archetype because it's a survival family archetype. There's only 4 of them, and even countries and companies have the survival archetypes. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's actually neutral. But the magical child is a specific sub-pattern within the shadow attribute. Pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Now, I'm a classic magical child archetype. I'm the youngest of 4 in my family, so they let me juggle knives and read tarot. Right? They were so busy with the older ones that I was like, wouldn't go so far as to say Harry Potter, though. The light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. I totally have that. I'm not a Sagittarius, nor, as far as I'm aware, am I dating anybody who has a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I know that you never know. Sometimes they don't know their chart. I'm like, how dare you? So this is about, you know, that heart open innocence. The child archetype, regardless of sub-pattern, is about safety and innocence. Because if the child of your heart feels safe, it can be vulnerable, it can open up, it can be innocent, right? And if it doesn't feel safe, it means it's in fear, and it can get really toxic. Think of the general scale of shadow to light in any child archetype. Childish, childlike. Pee Wee Herman, Dalai Lama, right? There's a whole spectrum in there. Crossed with the priest. Now, I know the idea of the priest with the child is a little icky, but we aren't talking archetype here, not literal, right? If you go at an archetype too literally, you usually miss the meaning of what's really going on there. Developing archetypal vision is a skill. It's not like clairvoyance. It's not a psychic skill. It's a way of thinking and seeing things through these different lenses. So you got a survival archetype and a divine family archetype, and if anybody's doing Reiki, this would apply. I think you'll see why. Now, the shadow attribute, we know it is that icky side of it, violates, there's a good word, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual rollers, or as we used to call it back in my coven days, high priest or high priestess syndrome. You get about a month of that around me as you adjust to the new initiation and the power. But come on. You were a novice once, right? You were a dedicant once. The light attribute facilitates spiritual commitments, like marriages and stuff like that, you know, baby blessings, but serves as a channel for spiritual energy. That's why if you've been initiated, you know, Reiki 1, 2, 3, I know there are more levels now I hear, but whatever. I only went to Reiki 2. I don't want to be a Reiki master. That's okay. I'm a tarot master and a witch. It's enough, but it's in my toolbox, right? I was a priest. I was a high priest. I was a minister, which is a little bit different than a priest, archetypally. But sure, I did weddings and all that stuff, but do understand that anyone can be a priest or a priestess to the divine, as it is a channel, a vessel through which divine energy flows, which at the end of the day is love, right? It's about the love moving through you. So don't get too creeped out by the magical child and the priestess on that, because that vibe would not come through on my channel anyway. But what's interesting is you are both in a warrior phase. Now, did someone else have a warrior phase here? No, they did not. I thought I saw it pop up before. Might have been a private, yeah, it was a private read I did the other day, right, with a Libra. The shadow attribute of the warrior, I think we are all well aware of. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. And I mean even like in checkers, right? You know you're dealing with a warrior archetype where they can't even lose at checkers, like rock, paper, scissors, knife, right? You know, not great. Indifference to the suffering inflicted by others. Now look, we all go there when we're not feeling well. But when you have the warrior archetype in play, it can be tricky. Now, this might be an archetype you both share at this time in this context of the contract. But this is what you're shooting for. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. This is a tough, right? Yeah, you are the warrior. Bang, bang. Shooting at the walls of heartache. Go for it, Patty Smythe. Work. So a magical child and a priest. I mean, I have to say, this is conjuring images of Japanese animation, right? Like a warrior priest and a magical child, right? Going through the plains, the wilderness, and like demon beasts popping out of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say Bleach, but there's something in there. I'm having a little bit of an anime flashback. All right. So now that we've got the template down here, we know the archetypes that we're dealing with in the 8th chakra, we're going to do some element spreads, 2 actually. 5 cards, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, daughters of the moon for the magical child. Same thing for the priest, priestess with the mythic tarot. This is not about divine masculine, divine feminine for this read, so please take a nice deep breath. Because you might absolutely be a priest, priestess archetype and the magical child as well. So let's see. Let's get some clarity here. As I call upon my goddesses of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, and the powers of the south, please, 5 cards. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit, element breakdown here for this magical child in this Sagittarian collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, in progress. Intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. What does the magical child yearn for, burn for? Their heart's desire and their element of fire. What is their element of earth? The fuel to feed the fire and manifest their heart's desire. What are they thinking? What is their element of air that they breathe into this fire? Sometimes blowing it out instead of fanning the flames of their heart's desire. What's going on? Element of water. How do they feel about this fire simmering from their heart's desire? And what is the point of view of the soul, the card of spirit, the soul who plays the role, cast to play the role of this magical child in this Sagittarius soulmate contract. Before we flip those, get these 5 on the table, and then we'll do them, simultaneously. Both do fire, then we'll look at their earth, etc. Please take a nice deep breath. Very different vibe here. Yeah, it would be. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Sagittarius and the powers of the south, please. 5 cards, element spread, same for the magical child here, but for the priest archetype, what is their element of fire, what they yearn for, what they burn for, what their heart's desire? What is their element of earth, the fuel to feed the fire and manifest their heart's desire? What is their air, that which they breathe into the fire, what they think about, their heart's desire? I felt that. Send that one around again, please, because it was just sticky. There we go. A little humid today. And speaking of humid, element of water. What do they feel? What are their emotions here? Right? What are what's their water simmering as the result of the fire, their heart's desire? And certainly the card of spirit. What is the point of view, the voice of the soul incarnating to play the role of this priest archetype in this soulmate contract? Let's look. Fire, what do you want? Well, interesting. Let's start with the priest, priestess here. 10 of Cups. Wants it all. Wants the emotional all in. Wants to feel it all. Wants to love and be loved in a harmonious divine way. This is my true love card in this deck. So I'm going to say this priest, priestess wants to be a channel of true love, but not just a channel of true love. We could all be channels of true love. That's what the Path of True Love reads are about, by the way, as well as could show you this relationship in it. So do check that Timeless series as well, particularly if you see archetypes here or there. It might give you some clues, tips, and hints. But what the magical child here, it's the coyote, the trickster, half of the devil card. Daughters of the Moon is a feminist deck, so it doesn't use patriarchal imagery like the devil in its sense. So it splits the card in half. Oppression, which is half of the devil card, the chains, right? That sort of codependent, addictive, toxic stuff. But this is different. Coyote woman is a sacred, totemic goddess of the indigenous peoples, well, wherever coyotes are, essentially, I would think, but certainly in North America, right? Coyote is known to be a trickster, says right on it, the trickster. So there are a couple of different takes on that. This is a child archetype we're talking about here. But because it's part of the devil card, this can very much be about shadow work, right? About maybe wanting to really look at what their fears are. Because it's in the element of fire, something that they want to do. So maybe they're at that place in their life where if they're closer to the light aspect of, you know, where everything is possible, then let me face the fears I have to face here. There might be a thing about maturity here. And again, and I fall prey to this, I'm much better on it, where it's like, and I think this is a stage of maturation in terms of spiritual awakening. Well, I don't have to do anything. The universe will just provide. Well, yeah, you still gotta brush your teeth, right? You still gotta, like, eat. You still don't expect them to... Divine doesn't spoon feed us unless that's necessary, and God forbid that ever be necessary, right? So there are lessons to be learned here for the child, and it may very well have to do with them facing their fears, doing the shadow work, and because we are looking at adults here, not talking about literal children, then maybe there is some emotional baggage there, some past stuff that is affecting this that they want to move through and deal with. Well, let's look at their element of earth. Well, how very interesting. 7 of Wands here for the priest. So what they have is the ability to jump through the hoops, to do the thing, right? I know 7 of Wands is often seen as a defensive card, and that very well may be. But it is about going through the necessary stages of things that need to be done. Not so much like Earth, but it's like checklist. It's like, okay, in order to do this, I have to do this. And if I want that person, I have to deal with this person. So it is, in a sense, like the 7 of Cups, like all those options. But this is about really, really, really being willing to go through not necessarily the battle. Could be. Well, warrior archetype, why not? Let's keep it in that language for a hot second, right? To go through the necessary stages of engagement, right? To engage whatever needs to be done, right? Like an obstacle course, right? Like basic training, right? Where they make you crawl through mud. I'm sure I did it in another life. The only mud I crawl through now is French clay for my face. Thank you very much. And I painted on. Element of air here. Well, does the mat... We'll get to you in a second. Oh, I forgot. Element of earth here. The Sybil. Good. Let's put those two off for a second. Got carried away by that 7 of Wands, which is easy to do. This is the Ace of Blades. Sybil, what the magical child has is new information coming in. And honestly, the vibe that I'm getting, there may be some of it coming in horizontally through, you know, teachers or, you know, readings or whatever. But the thing about the Pythia, the Oracle of Delphi, is that it came through her direct. And a magical child can pull that off, can get that, but they have to be in that innocence. To not, well, to receive it. We get guidance all the time. Sometimes I think a lot of our rituals are just to kind of give us a break from the guidance that we're getting from every direction so we can focus, right? But certainly for a magical child here, there's a mental element, new information that they already have to help them do this. Maybe an insight, right? Maybe something that in the silence comes out of nowhere and explains stuff for them, which is why now we are going to look at the element of air, the thought, and here is the other devil card. So we'll call this a double whammy in the sense that here we also have the oppression card here with the coyote woman, and the vibe on that is pretty clear. They're well aware that there are things that they believe that may not be wholly the truth. Something can appear true but may not be the truth. For example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. That appears to be true, but it's not. The planet rotates around its own axis. There's a difference between revolve and rotate. Thank you very much. I was corrected once by a teacher and I never forgot it, because I'm a Virgo. So that thing of oppression, this may be a societal thing. Whenever I see this card, there's a woman buried under rocks, but the rocks have people's faces on them. So this could be codependent stuff. Maybe they're learning about codependent stuff. Maybe they already know about stuff from their childhood, the codependent wounds that they might have acquired through social conditioning, maybe not directly from their parents, although what are the chances? So what oppresses them? What's holding them back? And this might be a brand new take on it, a piece of information, an exercise, EFT, you know, whatever. And then that would make sense if it's a spiritual high vibe thing that this priest and priestess is providing here, digging it. Now here we have got, believe it or not, the Ace of Swords. You've got the One of Blades, the Ace of Blades, and the Ace of Swords, a double whammy. So they are thinking this new thought coming in, Athena bringing in a ray of truth, a sword of truth, and this one already having the sword of truth in some way, shape, or form might be different perspectives of the same truth, as a priestess would integrate a truth differently than a magical child, one would think. Priestess might be more about levels and, you know, chakras and stuff like that and practices, where the child might be like, oh, cool, right? It's magic. Little Doug Henning vibe for you there for my Generation Xers and above. Element of water, love it. Earth cards both. Nine of Pentacles. Malama, an abundance goddess if ever there was one. And for the magical child, I will say it is not their heart that is the issue here. It is certainly in their mind. So the fears may have some emotional background to them because, you know, thoughts and emotions, air to water. But we love this. We love the Nine of Pentacles. I heard a reader say here on YouTube, can't remember who, that's the prerequisite to become the Empress, or like the Empress of the Minor Arcana. I love that. That feels that here. So there is something very stable, secure, self-satisfying. I don't want to say independent, because independent is just like the toxic twin brother of codependent, sibling. I'll try and keep it out of gender. Interdependent is what we're shooting for, you know, like in truth and in honesty with healthy boundaries. This feels like emotionally this person is, it has got that, right? Has a wisdom of love within their own heart. Digging it, right? And may very well feel very, very good about where they are in their life, but yet understanding that when it comes to the romantic thing, that they have been tricked before, they don't want to be tricked again, and a lot of that has to do with their own mental patterns. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles for the priestess on this side, and the emotions, the Virgo card, mutable earth. And I always point this out because it's such a genius deck. Julia Sherman Burke, bless her heart and her mind and her soul and her body and her career. There are beehives in the background. You probably can't see it. And we know beehives are not created overnight, but boy, do they produce, right? Boy, they do a lot of things. They're the shelter for the bees, right? The bees pollinate, right? It's we have bees here where I live. Every time I see a bee, I'm like, blessed bee. It's a witch thing. Boogie, oogie, oogie. But of course, we know with the Virgo card here, this person may or may not have Virgo dynamic here. But emotionally, they are making their way through this. They are being careful. Like I said, I am a Virgo. I could talk about this card for an entire video. I'm not going to right now. But I would say that they are certainly moving in that direction. But of the four knights, the Virgo, the Knight of Pentacles, is the slowest. The fastest is Gemini. So it's the difference between a horse walking and a horse galloping. Pisces and Sagittarius are trot and canter, in case you're interested, right? So, but there's a resonance. There's an earth resonance. And by the way, Virgo is mutable earth. So it does feel like they may very well be slowly but surely learning and integrating something here in their emotional space. But remember what they want. They want this 10 of Cups in this contract. So there is a patience there, but it is a patience that serves. Perhaps serving them right now in their own path. They are, after all, Ace of Swords here. Athena delivering a new truth, taking their time with that, which is very, very wise. Point of view of the soul, the card of Spirit, digging it. Love it. Here you've got the magical child has the card of Judgment. In this deck, Celebration. Looks like women's gathering somewhere in the mountains, right? Dancing around a central spot under the full moon. But if you pull back and look, they're dancing on the belly of the mother. I do this every time so people can really get what revelation is. Right? They're like, oh, it was there all along, right? See the breasts in the foreground, pubic mound, and they're dancing around her navel. So it is that thing of this magical child, the soul that's playing the role of the magical child. It's like, oh, Ace of Blades, right? Oh, it's like they have the mental key that is definitely, well, I will say, free will, has the highest potential here to remove those stones, right? To free themselves from the oppression, because something is revealed. But I think shadow work is necessary here, and I think they want to do it, right? Element of fire. The soul on this side is the King of Pentacles. Now, so far, this is the only place we're seeing court cards, so there's a higher zodiacal charge over here. But now all the major arcana is on this side. I mean, 2 devil cards and Revelation, Celebration, by the way, the key word on that card of the women's circle dancing. So things are coming full circle, yet the next card would be the world, right? The universe after that coming to a completion. So this could be a real revelation to them. But with the Capricorn card, the King of Pentacles here, we are looking at something, again, slow and steady, wins the race, stable. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, Capricorn the father of the zodiac. They're complementary opposites, cardinal water, cardinal earth. Cardinal earth is the mountain, hence the mountain goat. The mountain supports so much life. Stuff we will never know what's going on inside the depths of a mountain is going on in there. You don't even know. There could be a volcano under there. But certainly there is something stable here, something very, very wealthy. Their soul is saying, you're ready for this, brah. You're ready for this 10 of Cups. This is someone who's very stable, and that's the thing. There might be an age difference on this table, but I don't necessarily want to limit that to chronological years. It might just be where they're both coming from. Where the priestess here, again, some sort of spirituality going on here. They may not identify as a priest or priestess, but that channel of spiritual energy in some way, shape, or form, hands-on healing, something, right? Speaker, teacher, whatever, maybe even reader, but it's definitely a part of their spiritual life, divine family archetype. And this magical child here, everything is possible, or they're in total depression. And that's the other thing here. Pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Well, wouldn't that be the devil card, the place that they're in, but something is revealed to them? This feels lovely. This feels like if you guys have not met yet, then I think you both want the same thing in a relationship, but the magical child is in a place of finding their innocence and their magic again, because they've probably given up hope, right? Hope does spring eternal. It is the mother grace in my book, Words of Grace, maiden, mother, crone, humility, hope, and endurance. It takes those 3, those gateway graces, to open you up to other grace in your life. Very foundational. But I'm digging this for both of you. So, it's Oracle time, right? We got 1 healing system and 2 tarot decks on the table. Let's move those out of the way. I do like symmetry on my table. Have I mentioned I'm a Virgo? I'm sure maybe once or twice on YouTube I've said something about it. Please take a nice deep breath. So we now activate the deck of Party Turnting, the Party Turner deck, known for, to me at least, I call it that, the Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves. Please take a nice deep breath. Nice and clear, please. as I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What are the whispers of love in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract involving a magical child and priest, priestess archetype in the warrior phase. We're going to really get into this center lane in a minute. So from the magical child's higher self, what is the piece of information, inspiration, insight they need from their higher selves for the priest, priestess archetype? What's the message from their higher selves, the whisper of love? And for both of, both of their higher selves, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love, the guidance and grace from both higher selves for the state of the contract? I find these to be very helpful. Got it. Okay, the magical child has new love. New love. Embrace this opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. I'm going to say it has to do with a romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract and spiritual growth. Something is being revealed here. Higher self of the magical child to say, yeah, it's a risk. It's getting out of bed is a risk, right? Stepping outside your front door, particularly now, can be a risk, right? Depending on where you live. So it's a risk anyway, right? People say tomorrow is promised to no one. I'm like, honey, 10 minutes isn't. 10 minutes from now isn't promised. Is promised to no one. So to take advantage, and that cough really does say there's a lot of choices, a lot of things that need to be said here. Got it. Wouldn't you believe it? For we've been saying slow and steady wins the race here. Capricorn, Virgo, have patience. Love is patient and kind always. I like this person. I like who this person is, not just because of the priestess thing, but they know what they want. They want 10 of cups, and they are willing to do the hurdles they need to jump to get there. But slow and steady wins the race. You've got to run through those hurdles, and they've got some clarity in their mind too. That Ace of Swords, this is a really lovely couple here, but from both of your higher selves, that warrior archetype, slow down. So perfect. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. So this thing of winning at any cost, right? Getting each other at any cost, there can be a lot of collateral damage. I would say whatever this is, there is definitely, at least this phase, some sort of battle going on. At least the strategy of it. And it says heroism in the light, which means the shadow is the villain, and every villain thinks they're a hero until they are proven otherwise, right? Unless they're just out and out, you know. Mr. J, you know what I'm talking about. He knew. The Joker knew, right? He just knew. Lex Luthor, though, thought he was saving the world, right? So, take your villains as you will, yet every hero was at some point a villain. It's just how the evolution of all of this works. So yes, maybe even some of the narcissists on the planet can heal and evolve. But that slow down. That when the warrior wants to win at all costs, the nervous system is inflamed. You're overloaded. You're close to burnout, or you're just so angry that you will burn down the village. Now, I'm not feeling that so much on this side, but I could see it on this side, particularly if the magical child has the power of fire. You know, little Piper Halliwell vibe going on there. I'm the Piper, although I'm water magic now. Potion witch. All right, let's keep going. Like I said, we're going to talk to Kuan Yin. I need a little bookie book here, and I got the magnifying glass, which are Virgo, so organized. Now this Kuan Yin is going to give you the divine feminine dynamic of the whole contract. It may refer more to one than the other, I am noticing. So let's ask her and find out. Please take a nice deep breath. Pink flame. My beloved Kuan Yin, please, one card in clarity from your Kuan Yin Oracle of Blue Angel Publishing here. Please, one card in clarity for this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract involving this magical child, this priestess in this warrior phase, chapter, scene within their soul contract. What say you to them? Drink from the emerald fountain. Drink from the emerald fountain. Beautiful. I mean, every card's beautiful. I feel like it's redundant. Every time I flip a card, I'm like, beautiful. Well, it is. Card number 7. Just going to read the intro and then the prayer at the end. And this is all very self-contained. Please take a nice deep breath. Card number 7, drink from the emerald fountain. The divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening and empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receive it, indeed to step forward and drink from the emerald fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. And all hearts are one heart, so it's within you. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing through you now. Now, pretty right on. Go into your heart chakra, whether you're working Kuan Yin or not. It feels like she is working you to really breathe from that. This is about self-love. This is about getting the love that you need on an energetic level. Yes, of course, love is energy. The difference between the energy of love and every other kind of energy is love is the true healer, right? It really is. Divine love is all that is. It is the quark, the micro quark, it's just everything. And I just don't mean poetically. I mean, it's everything. At least the magnetic force holding the atoms together. So to drink from that, that's very element of water here. I think that's for both of them. Feels like the priestess would have a practice for that already, but it feels like for dealing with the devil here, for the magical child, why not? Their element of water here, they've got the Knight of Pentacles. Just watched a promotional video from Matt Kahn doing Whatever Rises, love that. He's brought the teachings back in a new way of doing it. I think it was on Sounds True. There's a video on YouTube if you want to check it out. It just came out today at the time of this recording. And it is that. It's giving it's you being the lover, the true lover of yourself, the perfect parent, or that parent that you are to your own inner child, learning, both of you coming together. It's a beautiful thing. So I think that's what this is referring to for both of them, to give yourselves the love that only you can give yourselves. Let's do the prayer. Seriously, let's do this prayer. Breathe. Prayer at the Emerald Fountain. Divine Kuan Yin, beloved goddess that loves me unconditionally, you have my blessing and permission to assist me with divine energy that is for my highest good in all areas of my life now. I kneel at your sacred fountain of love, light, and divine assistance now. I drink from your heart that which fills my soul. I gratefully receive your unconditionally loving help. Om Mani Padme Hum. Good. Really good. It's the ultimate healer. I mean, you call in Kuan Yin, what's she going to be? Do you like, I can't right now, I'm busy? No, she's already on the case, in other words, particularly because I called her in this reading. Well, they know more than we do, right? So let's get the divine masculine aspect here. Good old Archangel Michael, the hot quarterback of the Archangelic Legions. Please take a nice deep breath. Blue flame. As I call upon my beloved Archangel Michael. Archangel of fire, powers of the south. What is the masculine energy dynamic here that this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract needs to be aware of? This magical child and this priest child in their warrior phase, which is very much your gig. Please, beloved Archangel Michael, Sword of Truth, Shield of Humility, what have you got for the Saggies in this center lane? Light Ship Earth. Here we go. Let's see how that applies, shall we? Light Ship Earth, which I get it. I mean, we see Gaia as our mother, so many different things, but as it's raising in vibration, and by the way, it does move through space on an orbit like a ship would. I get what they're talking about here, but I love it. The keywords here on the card, personal and planetary healing, because they're not separate. You heal you, holographic reality of unity consciousness. You're helping everyone heal. So card number 40. Let's go there. Come here. Blue Angel Oracle. Look at him. He's so hot. Oh, of course he is. He's the Archangel of Fire. Of course he's hot. Very hot. Very hot. Just flash back to the 80s again. Must be a lot of Gen Xers going to be watching this. Card number 40. Light Ship Earth. Personal and planetary healing. The Earth is a living consciousness which is currently being flooded with higher vibrational energies. These very same energies are also flowing through you. And being aware of this, you will be better able to integrate these new energies. Keep an open heart and mind, and you will see this time as a joyful one. Now that's really important, because the amount of suffering that could go on here, the slow and steady wins the race, instead of really investing in your own personal healing, which will affect the planet in the most positive way. Integrating these energies into yourself or helping everybody else do it. Do not allow yourself to be drawn into the fear that exists. I'm going to say that's kind of more on that side. Sorry, lost my spot. Where'd it go? Do not allow yourself to be drawn into the fear that exists. This is a time of personal and planetary healing. You and the Earth are moving towards higher states of awareness. Imagine the Earth in your mind's eye. Send love and light to everyone, to every living thing. This feels like something that they would do, but that they would do as well. Send love to your friends and family and to those who have passed away. Wish them all a happy return, for we shall all reappear in the future. Although this time will never come again, it will also never cease. And that my soul embraces you this hour. Oh, it's Walt Whitman. Let me do this for real. Breathe. Not that that wasn't for real. Love is Maul. And that my soul embraces you this hour, and we affect each other without ever seeing each other, and never perhaps to see each other is every bit as wonderful, and that the moon spins round the earth and on with the earth is equally wonderful, and that they balance themselves with the sun and stars is equally wonderful. Walt Whitman. You two are probably at a distance from each other, or you have not met. If you do know each other, I think the fear of the child here of getting involved with anyone in general is on the table here for sure. But the vibe I'm getting from this priestess here, it's pretty good. It's pretty sane. It's pretty balanced. It's pretty stable. So I'm going to say these two together are very complementary, as they would be. Kuan Yin saying, drink from your heart. Symbolically, energetically, open up your heart, keep your heart open, and really get that your healing is just as important as anything else on planet Earth. A little hard to grasp. I get it. But it is holographic reality. This world, law of attraction and all of that, you go to higher levels, they're like, well, yeah, law of attraction is a thing, but here's how it really works. And you're like, oh. So it's not about vision boards. They're like, not unless you're feeling the vibe, baby. No. So this is great. This is great. I mean, you are see, that's the thing with the blessing at the end. I always give a blessing at the end. I'm giving essentially the same blessing to all 12 signs. They gave me words to say. But I get to customize it a little bit for this read. But imagine all the romantic soulmate contracts coming together at once. The planet would just all of a sudden be like 1968, love vibe all over again, which sounds lovely, but love brings up its opposite. It has to be done gradually. Slow and steady wins the race is actually the great way to do it. As much as we want to see everybody mature spiritually, you certainly don't want a kindergartner in 1 week to grow up and graduate from high school. You want to take the journey. A lot gets lost that way if you do it too quickly. So better to really enjoy the ride here, and I feel like that's what that both of those cards are saying. You can really enjoy this journey, but it's about really drinking from your own divine love, which is at your core, because it's at everybody's divine core. That's who we are. Sorry. I have to amuse myself, darlings. I live alone. I live with 3 cats. And now, what did they send me? They sent me another Virgo to play with. I met somebody online last night. I'm like, woo, you don't live that far away. A little younger. A little younger. Don't think he's a Sag, though. So let's see, because I could totally play that role easily. Let's find out what's going on here from the Lover's Oracle, the Pantheon of Lovers. Imagine every lover, god or goddess, totem, whatever, angel from all the different pantheons coming together to bring you this this oracle card. Please take a nice deep breath. This feels good, guys. It really does. It just really does. As I call upon the pantheons of lovers, please, all traditions, all lineages, all cultures, even that starseed, extraterrestrial stuff, if they want to go there, what is the Ashtar Command lover, cool, whatever is going on here. Please, what is your Oracle of Love message for this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract involving the magical child archetype, the priest, priestess archetype in this warrior clause of the contract scene of the movie chapter in the book. And you've got 3. No, I'm putting them back in. I know it's human. That's not fair. The other signs did not get 3. Could have done that, but no. No, I'm chalking that up to humidity. Sorry, I am a Virgo. Please, what is your Lover's Oracle message for this Sag contract center lane? There we go. Healing. Work. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. Exactly what we're talking about here in both the Kuan Yin and the Archangel Michael card. Drink from your own heart and then send love to the people that you love. Envision the planet in your third eye and bless it with love. This is a time of healing for all of us. So this is what's so important. They said this to me the other night. I was like, oh. They're like, we know you want your true love husband. We know that, Mark. You've been working so hard on yourself and serving people and all of that. But it's not about you and it's not about them. Your true love contract, which is another story, same thing with soulmate contract, it's written in because it's part of the healing of planet Earth. In other words, here we are trying to make it happen and speed up the healing of planet Earth to get what we want. It does not work that way. It can be delayed, but it cannot be prevented. You will grow, you will heal, you will learn, and it feels like the 2 of you are going to help each other do that. If you're not already knowing each other, you're already doing it through quantum entanglement. So, better a quantum entanglement than a codependent one, which I guess our quantum entanglements do in their way. Last card down, Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. What is the perfect healing mantras? Let's ask the specialists, the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contract Law, because you know they're busy. But I have the cat phone, like the bat phone, straight to them. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contract Law, please, what is the perfect healing mantra for the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract we have on the table here with this magical child and this priest, priestess in this warrior clause of their contract? What would be the perfect healing mantra, no matter who's watching this, to help them heal, which is so evident in this reading? Anchoring the light. The light is always within me. This is a very Sagittarian 9th house expansion and spirituality reading, I'm gonna say. And this contract is very the mantra, the light is always within me. You're always anchoring the light because the light is who you are. The light is the masculine energy. The love is the feminine energy. Truth and love, all right? Right? Anchoring the light. This one isn't terribly long. The light is always within me. There's your month. The light is always within me. The light is always within me. The light is always within me. When you anchor the light, you are accepting the infinite life force of the universe as your guardian, navigator, and companion. I think you see where this is leading. As you anchor the light, you are no longer a person trying to find the deeper meaning of connection. Instead, you know yourself to be a living expression of connection simply by appearing in human form, that you come from the one. We all come from the one. There is only one source. I call it the mother of all. Before there was the Tao, there was her. Right? You know, you find your way of identifying that, and remember there's always going to be a higher truth. Once we're out of bodies, we're going to see it a little, human bodies, we're going to see it a little bit differently. This mantra is ideal for overcoming fear, magical child side here, reducing cravings, maybe magical child and the priest here, making important life decisions for both of them, obviously. Anchoring the light. The light is always within me. Now that seems a little affirmation-ish. I'm not big on affirmations. I mean, Louise Hay back in the day in the 80s was a huge help for me. You Can Heal Your Life. I still recommend to people new to the path or who need to brush up on some of the basics. I think her take on creating reality was very, very heart-centered. Bless her soul. So don't take it as an affirmation. Take it as a mantra, but you got to feel it. That's the thing. But I think Sagittarians have an easier time of that expansive type of thought. Light being energy, E equals MC squared, therefore I am light, and therefore I am one with everything. A mental process. This can actually help anchor it in the heart, and particularly the universe, unity, then being your companion, your navigator. That's worth it. And certainly for your own healing, it's the perfect last piece of the puzzle here for this center lane. So, let me give you the blessing. Do I not have it? Oh my goodness. I left the Torch of Ariel across the room, so guess what? We'll use, because when you're a witch, you're a witch. Some selenite here for you all. Let's transmit some of this blessing to you. Both feet on the floor. Let's amp this up. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my collective pantheons of the divine to please bless this Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, and may all romantic soulmate contracts be brought together under grace and in perfect ways to help us all heal, to help us all learn, to help us all grow, to help us all evolve, to infuse this planet with the divine love of healing energy as the couples come together, anchoring a healthy, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate vibration into the electromagnetic field of this planet, raising us all, and that with every kiss, with every embrace, with every text of love, this planet raises in vibration, becoming the perfect outpicturing of love, little by little, step by step, slow and steady wins the race for everybody, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Wow. This is like a very, very high vibe read. But why wouldn't it be? Your Sagittarians, 9th house, expansion, Jupiter energy, spirituality, digging it a lot. And if you liked it, please hit like. You want more of me, please subscribe. You feel like commenting, please do. Love reading the comments. And if you want to read my book, you know how. Link in the description box. You want to book a reading with me? Watch the video. It's fun. It's a good watch. I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. Didn't make me laugh, I wouldn't have put it out. Because I do believe that the majority of people on planet have been reached the old-fashioned boring way. I'm the fun one, and certainly Sagittarius do enjoy that about me as I enjoy it that with them. So wishing you very much the very best and the very, very blessed, my beloved Sagittarians. Notch that arrow and get ready to let it fly, because you're doing the work necessary to be ready on both sides here for the two of you to come together. But just be careful. Winning at every cost has a cost. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in all of this, my beloved Sagittarians. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.